Hello drama lovers, welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. When Joseph Zeng sat quietly in that dimly lit studio, no one expected what would follow. He chose to sing Linjiang Xian, the same song that once defined his on-screen love with Bai Lu. For almost an hour, he practiced, again and again, as if trying to perfect a memory rather than a melody. Fans weren't just listening to a song, they were watching a man relive a chapter of his heart. The moment Joseph Zeng's voice filled the room, something shifted. The gentle tremor in his tone wasn't just technique, it was emotion. A quiet storm that carried traces of Linjiang Xian, the drama that once made millions believe in faded love. For those who watched that story unfold, the lingering glances, the hesitant smiles, the silent heartbreak, Linjiang Xian wasn't just a show. It was a promise. And Joseph, standing there years later, was delivering that promise all over again. As the camera rolled, his eyes softened, his expression distant, almost haunted. Each lyric felt like a conversation with someone who wasn't there anymore. Someone whose laughter once echoed beside him under the same studio lights. When he reached the chorus, across the river, our hearts dripped apart. Fans swore they saw his lips quiver, his breathing change. It wasn't performance, it was remembrance. The sound of his voice carried that kind of melancholy only real attachment can create, that unspoken link between co-stars who shared something raw, honest, and fragile. And when the behind-the-scenes clip was uploaded showing Joseph repeating the song nearly 10 times, the internet erupted. Not because he sang beautifully, but because he felt it. Every take looked like he was trying to capture a version of the past he couldn't let go. Comments flooded in. You can see Bai Lu in his eyes. This isn't acting. This is love replaying itself. Linjiang Xian still owns his heart. But here's the thing, Joseph never said a word. No post. No interview. Just silence. And that silence said everything. It reminded fans of those quiet moments during Linjiang Xian's filming, the way Joseph looked at Bai Lu between takes, the soft laughter they shared when the director yelled cut. It wasn't scripted chemistry. It was real emotion captured accidentally on camera. And now, years later, that emotion had found its echo in a song. There's something poetic about how time folds in on itself. How a melody can transport you back to someone's smile, the scent of rain, the feeling of falling in love for the first time. When Joseph sang Linjiang Xian again, fans said it felt like deja vu, like watching a ghost story made of love and nostalgia. He wasn't performing for fame, nor promoting a drama. He was simply remembering. Some fans even dug into the past, resurfacing old interviews. In one, Joseph mentioned how the Ost of Linjiang Xian was one of his favorite songs, not because of its technical beauty, but because of the emotional weight it carried. He said, "There are songs you sing for the world, and songs you sing for yourself." That single line hit differently now. It's rare in the entertainment world, where everything is filtered, rehearsed, and edited, to witness something so human. Just a man and his song, bearing a truth he can't speak aloud. Bai Lu, on the other hand, has remained gracefully quiet. Her recent posts were bright, hopeful, and full of career milestones. Yet, when Joseph's video trended on Weibo, fans couldn't help but connect the dots, because the same night, Bai Lu posted a line from a poem. Some rivers can't be crossed twice, but their reflection stays forever. Coincidence maybe. But the fandom didn't think so. The emotional ripple spread across platforms. Joseph Zeng OST trend. Linjiang Xian love story resurfaced. Clips comparing their on-screen chemistry went viral again. In one edit, Joseph's new performance was overlaid with Bai Lu's scenes, and the effect was devastatingly beautiful. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was cinematic pain, the kind that lingers quietly long after the credits roll. Through the haze of trending hashtags and heartbroken comments, one truth emerged: the story of Linjiang Xian never really ended. It just changed form. And Joseph's song, it wasn't a performance. It was a confession, one sung softly enough that only those who once believed in them could hear it. Days passed, but the conversation didn't fade. Instead, it deepened. Fans began rewatching Linjiang Xian not for the plot, but to search for hidden meanings they might be missed. A small gesture, a glance too long, a smile that seemed to break just before it formed. They started piecing together a story behind the story, one written in silence, played in every shared breath between Joseph and Bai Lu. Meanwhile, Joseph stayed quiet, though sources close to the production said he'd been working on a new project, something more introspective. Something that, in his own words, feels like closing a loop. It's easy to assume it's coincidence, a man revisiting an old song, an actress posting poetry. But to fans who lived through the Linjiang Xian era, it felt like fate had pressed rewind, if only for a moment. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Love stories don't always need sequels. Sometimes, they just need echoes, faint reminders that something once mattered deeply, even if it didn't last. When Joseph finished that final take in the studio, he reportedly smiled, not the kind that reaches your eyes, but the soft, broken kind that says, "Thank you for letting me feel it again." And for fans, that was enough. Enough to cry. Enough to believe again. Maybe this is what makes Linjiang Xian timeless. Not just the story, not just the acting, but the emotion it left behind. It's the way Joseph Zeng and Bai Lu turned fiction into something frighteningly real. Years may pass, dramas will come and go, but some connections refuse to fade. Some melodies keep returning even when the people who inspired them no longer do. When Joseph sang that song again, it wasn't nostalgia for fame. It was nostalgia for feeling. For the quiet warmth between two souls who once understood each other perfectly, even if the world never truly knew. And maybe that's why millions watched in silence. Because deep down, we all know what it's like to have a song that brings someone back just for a heartbeat.